You kind of changed me, like just, I was just in a slump, whatever, and started doing it, got my confidence back. Now I can talk to everybody. You changed me for sure. Do rentals, really. You're gonna get repetition. You're gonna feel more confident dealing with people, talking to people every day, other than waiting for a buyer that maybe looks at a bunch of homes and then, oh no, I can't do this now, or whatever comes up, or a seller that just strings you along and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna sell now, wait till next year. Next year, I'm here now.
Hey, Stephen, I know you had an incredible story, and I just wanted to share it with everybody because you had just moved to Florida a handful of years ago, just got your real estate license, even though you've been doing real estate for 13 years and you were kind of lost and didn't know what to do because buyers and sellers weren't really working out. So, what made you want to start working with rentals?
Sure. Well, I saw you on YouTube and watched a bunch of your videos, and I just like the style of the way you were working, how you seem to be busy all the time, and you're able to help people find a home, even though they're not buying, they're still renting, and they could be possible buyers or sellers in the future. And I just like the way that would work out for me, being busy all the time. So I jumped in.
So, in your first few months since you signed up, how many rental deals have you actually closed?
I've done like 21,
21 rental deals in a couple months. And what would you say about your average commission, before the split?
about 1,500 right now.
Wow. So you made $30,000 in your first couple months from going to rentals in a brand new state. I mean, you didn't really know anybody down in Florida. And now you're absolutely crushing it. And I know you just said your last month you just did 7 rentals. So do you think it's picking up even more now?
Yes, yeah, I'm definitely adding a couple to a few more rentals each month.
How long do you think until you get up to, let's say, 20 rentals in a month?
20 rentals, I would say it's November now. I'd say probably January, February.
So you think you'll be doing 20 rentals a month in January?
That's the plan.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. So why rentals though? Because when you moved to Florida, you had been doing real estate for at least 10, 11, 12 years before that in a different state, up north. Why don't you think you had too much success with the buyers and sellers down here?
I think a lot of it maybe trust. A lot of people, South Florida, Miami, they think a lot of things are scams, so it takes a lot longer to build trust with people. Whereas rentals, they need a place, and if you're competent to show them and get the place for them, they're willing to work with you.
So how many deals do you think you closed, on your own, just trying to work with the buyers and sellers?
Just a couple, actually.
Wow. So just a couple, like 1 or 2 deals just in your first 2 years down here.
Yeah, two or three deals. Yeah.
Wow. And then all of a sudden you join Richard Rentals, start doing my rental system. And in a couple months, you've done 21 deals.
Yes, and I love going in the MLS, seeing how many deals I've closed, and just watch the numbers, double and go up every couple months. So yeah, I'm liking that.
Wow, that's literally incredible. I mean, that's why I teach agents how to do this. Like, were you thinking about potentially quitting real estate like before
Uh,
this?
it was getting depressing, I can say that. But yeah, no, I watched your videos and trusted in what you were telling me, and I never did rentals in my 13 years, never one rental until I met you, and I just love it.
So I guess it's safe to say then you've literally made more money off the rentals in the last couple months than you have in 2 years going after buyers and sellers.
Pretty close. I mean, a little bit under. One of my sales was over 1 million, so it was a
Woo!
good commission there. But
Okay, yeah. So
yeah, pretty close.
close, very, very close then.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, still, that's literally incredible. And I know you're literally going to start getting tons of buyers and sellers just from the rentals. Like I know you're, really new into this, and you're still just developing and everything, but I promise you, once you get up to doing, 15, even 10, 15, 20 rentals in a month, like the buyers are going to flow in. I know it's not a good time to be a buyer's agent right now, but in the meantime, you're literally going to bring in so much cash every single month just off the renters. You don't even need to close the buyers.
Yeah, I can say one thing that like within your system, how you have like a way to do things. It's good to start that early because when the business grows and all of a sudden you're doubling your deals, how many deals, you're going to need a system to take care of those without getting overwhelmed. So
Do you think it would have been like really overwhelming? Let's just say you had been doing it on your own and miraculously, you start closing a bunch of deals. Do you think you would have been a little bit lost and overwhelmed if you hadn't had a system?
Oh, definitely. I mean, to learn everything that you teach us would be, the long way to go. Definitely using your system and what you teach us, it's definitely a kind of a shorter learning curve. And when you do your weekly podcasts or webinars, it's like one of the best things of your program.
Oh, so yeah, because honestly, I tell agents like it's optional. You don't have to come to my weekly coaching calls. Everything's in the training platform. But I know a lot of agents really like that. And that's why I wanted to do it a little bit different. I didn't want to just have a program where it's like, all right, come in here, learn everything, and then, go and do it. I wanted to offer weekly support. So you really like that aspect?
Yeah, I think that makes the difference. I mean, your program's great and I could follow it, but it's just good to have that support every week to hear different things that come up that maybe you haven't experienced. So when it does happen, you already know what to do.
I really like that. I actually really like doing that because I know, some of these weeks we've been going like an hour and a half, two
Yeah.
hours, because, agents are really just absorbing all this information and absolutely crushing it. Like literally, I don't know if you remember Charlie, but he's making 45,000 a month right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. It's
Literally
very
crushing
good.
it. I know you're on that same trajectory and that same path. He started a little bit sooner, but literally, like you can do it because you're in a good area. If you're in an area where you can make anywhere from 25 to 50% commission or more, because I'm guessing you haven't done apartment complexes yet, right?
No, I started, but what was happening with that is I would bring clients to the apartment complex and then they would look up on the computer their name and go, oh, they're in the computer already. We can't give you commission. So after that happened like twice, I was like, no, I'm just spinning my wheels here. So I just do the MLS properties.
So the MLS properties, are you finding that you're getting a lot of leads coming in? Because you're doing it on Facebook Marketplace, which obviously it's free. So how much money have you paid for leads so far?
Like nothing other than my time. And then actually, I have somebody now helping me post, so I have to pay her, but it's a nominal amount compared to the leads you get.
So all the free leads that you're getting, I mean, obviously you think that's a big reason why you're so successful now, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Another thing is it puts you in the right mindset, right? So in real estate, you're supposed to be in the mindset, I'm going to help this person. If it doesn't work out, oh, well, I did my best. But it's really tough when you only have one deal every couple of months or something, and that commission gets flushed down the toilet after 3 months of work. It's tough to have that right mindset. But when you're working with renters, if it doesn't work out or just the chemistry's not there, it's like, okay, whatever. I can either find them another property right away, or I have 10 more leads coming in tomorrow. It's not a problem.
That is literally, I preach that all the time, because that's so cool to even hear that because that's been my mentality, like, yeah, I would love to help everybody, but we know, every once in a while we're going to lose a deal. But
Yeah,
with rentals, it literally doesn't matter because you have 10 more that are closing right behind it anyways. It's
right.
irrelevant.
It's very empowering. It puts you in the right real estate mindset, is what I think.
That motivation, celebrating wins, like almost every other day, basically, like you're literally getting contracts accepted almost every other day. And the feeling, the endorphins that are released and the motivation, like that keeps you going. And you're experiencing that firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, another one under contract, another one under contract.
So
It's pretty good. Yeah,
you're getting numb to it at this point. You've gotten so many close so fast. You're like, oh, just another $2,000, another 1,500 bucks.
right.
That
Yeah, I try
that's
not to. You do count, but I'm trying, not to as much. But yeah.
you try not to get a big head.
Yeah, yeah. But I have to tell you, I have other friends, real estate friends, that are like, oh, let's do this and let's do that, other parts of real estate. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm focusing on the rentals.
And you probably couldn't be any happier right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of people complaining about the way the market is, this and that. but for me, it's pretty steady and even growing. So
In my opinion, because I've been doing the rentals for years, and I've closed over 800 in the past 4.5 years. And I'll tell you from my experience, being down here, this is the easiest time to do rentals. Like if we were doing this back in 2020 and having this conversation, it wouldn't be as easy, which is the craziest part to me. Even though I was doing 250 deals a year back then, and it was hard because they were getting multiple offers. We don't have that same kind of competition now from 20 offers or 30 offers per property. It is so dirt simple. Like, are you finding it easier to get, well, I guess you haven't done it before, but are you finding it easy to get accepted to a property right now?
yeah, actually, I just got someone accepted for 540. So like in selling homes and buying homes, I like the negotiations, and you didn't get it as much, right? Unless you're super busy. But with the rentals, you're really negotiating every day, So I like that part of it.
And they have 540 credit.
Yeah, 540 credit. We just made them pay an extra deposit and got it in. You do your program where you just fire out emails to different properties, and then there's one out there for them. Someone will say like, "All right, it's been on the market 36 days or whatever. I'll take a chance." So yeah.
Because a lot of agents are, even if they're doing rentals and, haven't been kind of, I guess, taught by me, they always say, oh, no, 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 I don't do anything under 650 credit. But you're basically finding out that you can help anybody.
Yeah, I try, definitely.
To get a person with 550 credit accepted, first of all, that would be impossible if they were trying to buy a house because they wouldn't get qualified for a mortgage. But
Right.
for a rental, look at that. Like, and I'm sure that's not the first person you've helped with 500 credit.
No, I do a bunch 580, under 600. Of course, it's almost like when I get somebody 680 now, it's like, oh, this is going to be super easy.
It's funny you say that actually, because I have a mixed opinion on that. Sometimes the tenants with the super high credits, they get a little picky on me.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
right.
Yes,
But
yes.
then, the tenants with 500 credit, they're like, whatever, I'll take whatever I can get.
Right.
And right, it,
They
it, it actually,
understand, They understand. They know their credit's not that great. They
yeah.
know, but if they work on their credit while they're there for, it's only a year. I tell them it's only a year. In 6 months, I'm going to be contacting you. Are you going to continue with your lease? Are you looking for a new place? It's nothing. It's going to go by fast. Just work on your credit and get the next apartment better.
And then, once they get their credit up, you're going to do my 369 method, my constant contact once a week method. And I'm telling you, because I know you've only been doing this for a couple months, but eventually these renters are going to turn into buyers, especially once the market flips over to a buyer's market. Can you imagine in like 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you have done hundreds and hundreds of rentals, and then all of a sudden now it actually becomes affordable to buy a house? Do you realize how many buyers you're going to get?
Yes, and not only that, people probably don't think of this, but I'm getting a lot of referrals, a lot of 5-star reviews. So that's going to show up. People don't always look, oh, did they rent with them? Did they buy with them? They just see, hey, Steve did a great job. He helped me out, get my place, period. So that's going to help as well.
Wow. So you're already starting to get a lot of referrals coming in.
Yeah, a lot of reviews, and I'm getting referrals from people I've rented with already. So yeah, definitely.
So that's how, because that's a big method and a reason of why your deals are going to start going up every single month. I always attribute it to like a snowball falling down a mountain, like it starts off smaller, so maybe in your first month, I think you said you did like what, 4 deals or five
Yeah,
deals in your
three
first
three
month.
deals, then five, four. Yeah, it
And,
just kept building.
and it
Yeah.
kept building up every single month until you're doing 20, 30 deals a month because of little things like that, about the referrals coming in, about friends and family members leaving you positive reviews, and people seeing your profile and be like, oh my God, this is a guy I want to work with, or a gal I want to work with. Like, you're going to see over time, it's going to be easier and easier to start doing dozens of deals a month.
Yeah, it's also a learning curve too. So, I never did a rental before. So, you're learning the first month, second month, third month. So your confidence gets better too. Like I noticed it's not taking me as many leads to close the deal now because I'm just confident when I talk to them and they're just like, oh, okay, I'll work with you. So
Because I try to teach that on a lot of the weekly calls, I try to teach communication, and I think you're starting to see the benefit of that now.
oh yeah, it's huge. Like if you're not doing deals or people aren't, you're doing something wrong with your communication. Definitely.
That's right. Yeah, because listen, what's the saying? You can drag a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you got to look in the mirror and it's like, all right, well, I might be doing all the right things, but it's still not working. What's wrong? I mean, unfortunately saying this, it's you, not you in particular, but
Right.
it's what you're doing. You
Yeah.
following all the steps and everything. But if you're not closing, 20 deals like you in your first couple months, it's because you're doing something incorrect.
Yeah, I think you got to really get familiar with the process so you can tell somebody real quick what they to expect. And once you get like that, and they feel it, they feel, oh, this guy's got confidence, he can take care of me. So yeah.
And as you start closing these deals, you're probably saving a lot of time. Have you done like my clipboard system yet?
Yeah, so I do that where you move them to the next step for sure. You have to because once you're dealing with like 10 or more people in a month, you're not going to remember everything. There's no way.
Have you found, because I know you've been doing real estate, for over a decade, and I know learning new things, it might be like a little difficult to change, at first, but have you found that to be a really like reliable and time-saving organization system?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You have it down simple, easy. I'm
Yep.
overwhelmed with all these leads, and then I can do buyers, sellers, whatever. But you know what? Like I said, when I listed and sold that house, I'm like, because it was a split lead, somebody gave me the lead and I had to give them 30%. I could have done rentals that month and it would have been way easier and I would have made the same money. Would have been way easier.
Way easier.
Yeah, not listing it, getting the photos done, the back and forth, everything. No, it would have been way easier. Just work with some renters. You kind of changed me, like just, I was just in a slump, whatever, and started doing, got my confidence back. Now I can talk to everybody about rentals and like I talked to a lot of agents, and yeah, you changed me for sure.
I literally love hearing that. That's why I do this. What if you were talking to either a new agent, that's just getting into the business, or a struggling agent right now? What is your one biggest piece of advice right now?
I would say do rentals, really. You're going to get repetition. You're going to feel more confident dealing with people, talking to people every day, other than waiting for a buyer that maybe looks at a bunch of homes and then, oh, no, I can't do this now, or whatever comes up, or a seller that just strings you along and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to sell now. Wait till next year. Next year, I'm here now. So, yeah, I would say just go with the rentals. I mean, you can always move to selling houses, buying houses, and it's really going to get your confidence up. You're going to get used to talking to people, used to negotiating more. I think it's the way to go.
And cash. You're bringing a
Yeah,
lot of good
right. You make
cash.
the money, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's another thing, right?
Yeah,
So it's
I
kind of
don't,
reliable income. Yeah.
consistent, reliable income.
Yep. Yep, for sure.
Well, Stephen, it was amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on. And hey, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you, Andy.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.